Morning fellas, welcome back to another Villa on Tour video. Today I'm doing another championship type video. Last week you may remember I did best championship fans. That sparked a bit of debate, I think that's fair to say. There was a lot of controversy in that one. I got accused of being biased, which I was, you know, I put Villa top. But I'm doing championship stadiums today. This again could be quite controversial, so this is just my opinion. Obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion, so leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be interested to see what you guys think. Without further ado, let's get into this. So, much like the championship fans video, I'm going to go from 24th to 1st. Just ranking the stadiums, talking a little bit about them. I have been to most championship stadiums, following Villa home and away, but I haven't been to all of them, so I can't base... A lot of them I can base them on personal experience, but other ones I'm just basing it off, you know, like images and just, you know, that standard stuff. When I'm ranking the football stadiums, all I'm talking about is the aesthetics from inside the stadium, outside the stadium. I'm not talking about fans, I'm not talking about the actual performance of the team, purely just the stadium. So, to kick this off, 24th, Rotherham United. Sorry lads, it just has to be. I think it's one of the smallest in the championship, the New York Stadium. It's kind of like a bowl type stadium. I'm not a fan of the bowl stadiums. I mean, you look at Arsenal, they went from Highbury to the Emirates, and I think that, like the traditional grounds like Highbury, they've got so much more character. And like the bowl stadiums, they just don't have anything. I think they're quite soulless. They don't have much identity to them. I'm not saying Rotherham's that. It's not as bad as something like the Emirates, but I'm not a massive fan of Rotherham Stadium. Next up, I've got Brentford FC. I don't mind this one. It's only down there because it is very, very small. As I said in the championship fans video, it has got terraces on each end, which I do like. But yeah, I think they're getting a new stadium, Brentford, in the next couple of years. I'm going to be sad to see Griffin Park go, because it is a fairly decent stadium, although I did put it in 23rd place. Next up, I've got another quite new stadium in the Bolton Stadium. I've got no idea what it's called these days. I think last season it was called the Macron, now it's called the University of Bolton Stadium, or something like that. They changed the name of it quite a lot, but yeah, it's a weird one, this. It's just strange. Like, it's like Huddersfield Stadium. It's kind of got the loopy bits on the stands. I'm not a massive fan of that. It is a quite weird one. It's not too bad. It is quite big though, to be fair, Bolton's, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. Next up, I've got Hull, which again is another modern stadium. I don't really know what to say about Hull. It's a bit of a weird one. It is quite a big stadium. Hull, they don't fill it out, but yeah, from the outside, it doesn't really look like a football stadium. Inside, the black seats, I'm not too keen on Hull Stadium, to be fair. Next up, I've got Wigan Stadium, which is quite possibly the most bog standard looking stadium. Inside, it is quite big, to be fair. Outside, just a traditional stadium, you know. Obviously, they don't ever fill it, but you know, it's just a traditional stadium. Nothing too special about it, just standard stuff. Next up, I've got QPR. I've been to QPR Stadium a couple of times now, I think, and the leg room there is absolutely shocking. Obviously, we don't sit down when we go there, but the leg room is absolutely shocking, especially in the upper tier of the away end. Like, you're basically on top of everyone else. It's a bit of a shambles. But yeah, the location of it as well is an absolute joke. I think it's in pretty much central London. You know, you've got Westfield Shopping Centre right next to it. You've got the old television BBC centre next to it. So when we went there, it was an absolute shambles to get to on a Saturday afternoon. But the stadium itself, it's small, it's compact, it's not too bad. Next up, I've got the MADEJSKI, Reading FC. Again, it's just a standard bowl type stadium, a fairly modern stadium again, and not too much to say on Reading, not too keen on it. Next up, Preston North End. I think it's fairly similar to Wigan Stadium. The only reason I've put it quite a bit higher than Wigan is because the stand with the cameras on, I think it's quite nice. You know, they've got the clock going on there, and I think they're developing something in there. I don't know whether they're making like boxes or corporate stuff, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, it's not too bad, I like it. Deepdale, decent. Next up, I've got Portman Road, Ipswich Town. I've been there a couple of times again. From the outside, it doesn't look too bad, to be fair, but inside, I don't know, it is a very old stadium. I think it is ready to crumble. I think that's fair to say. But again, the concourse is weird in there. It's like just like a room. It is a weird one, but yeah, it is. I'm not too keen on it. Yeah, there you go. Next up, Millwall. I don't know what to say about Millwall. I think I like the two-tiered things they've got going on there, but again, it's not the biggest. But yeah, it's not too bad. Here we go then. This one could cause a bit of controversy. Birmingham City, St Andrews I've got next. From the outside, let's be honest, it's not the most pretty looking stadium. Inside, again, the stand where the cameras are and where the dugouts are, that is a shocking stand. That's ready to crumble, to be honest. But yeah, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing stadium. You can see it on the train tracks going to Villa Park and you look at it and think, that's shocking. But we'll see when we go there in March, get a closer look at it. Yes. Oh, I'm going to get so much hate from Blues fans. God dear. Next up in 13th, I've got the Liberty Stadium in Swansea. It is another new stadium. It does look quite decent. It's got like the white poles outside. It does look quite nice. But inside, again, it is a fairly decent stadium. But yeah, it is another one of those bowl type things. But yeah, not too bad. Next up, I've got the Riverside, Middlesbrough. It's an okay stadium. It is quite big. They did sell out against us in the playoffs last season. It's a decent stadium. I mean, they don't tend to fill it too much, but yeah, it hasn't got too much character to it, but outside it does look quite nice. It is a decent ground. Just outside the top 10, I've got Blackburn in 11th. It's quite a traditional stadium. I like the stand opposite where the cameras are. It's got like a big path. I don't know what I meant to say there, but it's got a massive path next to it. It's a nice traditional ground and it does look very nice on the outside. 10th spot, I've got Stoke City, the Bet365 Stadium. Fairly big ground, to be fair. I've never been there myself, but it does look quite decent. Obviously they've got the what to call it? They've got the one stand, and then around the other 3 areas of the pitch they've got one solid stand, so that's quite decent. Yeah, another fairly simple looking ground, but it looks decent from the outside. I don't mind it. 9th, I've got the Hawthorns. Yeah, the stand where the dugouts are, from the outside it just looks like a factory, another warehouse looking thing, but inside it is fairly decent. I don't mind it. It's one tier all the way around except for where the dugouts are, but yeah, it's a decent little ground. I don't mind it. 8th, I've got Carrow Road. I like Carrow Road. It is a big ground, to be fair to them. It looks quite nice on the outside as well. Fairly traditional looking ground, which I respect. But yeah, it's not going to be well up there, but it's okay. It's okay. 7th, I've got a new ground in Bristol City, Ashton Gate. I think they built a new extension to one of the stands a couple of years ago, and that has really made it a really nice looking stadium. From the outside, I'm not the biggest fan. They have got TVs and it is a very modern looking ground from the outside, but inside it is a very, very nice looking stadium. Especially at night time, you got the lights looking down, and that one massive stand, it's very impressive. I like it. 6th, I've got the last of the modern grounds in Derby County's Pride Park. I don't really know what to say. It's similar to the Riverside. It's just all the way around, you know, but outside it does look quite nice, but inside it's fairly simple, really. Into the top 5, I've got Sheffield United. This could cause a bit of controversy between Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, but I've got put Sheffield United in 5th. I think outside it is a bit complicated, but complicated? What? Outside it does look very nice, inside as well, especially where the home fans sit behind the goal, that one massive sloped stand, that is very nice. Yeah, as I said, it's a very traditional ground for a traditional club and I like it a lot. 4th, I've gone across the city and gone with Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday's ground. Again, another traditional ground. From the inside it is a very nice looking stadium. It is quite similar to Sheffield United's ground, to be fair, but outside I just think it looks very nice, especially that stand the away end. Outside they've got that picture of the owl on the outside. It is a very, very nice looking stadium. It's very traditional as well. I like it. Into the top 3. Now, in 3rd place, I've got Elland Road. Yes, Leeds fans, you're probably going to hate me for this, but from the outside, it's not the best looking stadium, let's be honest. On the inside, I've got to be fair, it does look very nice, very traditional ground, as I've said a lot of times. But outside, not the best, but the atmosphere it gets in there, it does look very nice on the inside. Very, very decent. Now, this is where it gets tasty again. 2nd, I've got Nottingham Forest. The City Ground is, again, another old, nice, traditional stadium. I think one of the stands does look bit dodgy from the outside, but the rest of them, it looks very, very nice. Yeah, it's got the Brian Clough stand as well. It's decent. I don't mind it. But in 1st place, oh, Villa on tour, you're being biased. Yeah, shut up. Maybe I was in that fan video. I was a little bit biased, but in this is my honest opinion. Villa Park is the best stadium in the Championship. It is the biggest capacity, and yes, the North Stand, it does look a bit dodgy from the outside. It looks like it's been in a fire, but the rest of the stadium is absolutely beautiful. The whole end, I think, is one of the best stands in English football. It is just the best ground in the Championship. It really is, from inside as well. When you've got the whole... I sit in the Holt end, but I sat in the North stand I think once last season, and when you just look at the Holt end, it is just majestic. It is one of the best stands, as I've said, in English football. It is just so nice to look at. I'm going to put a poll in either of these top corners, I'm not too sure, to vote which you think is the best stadium out of my top 3. Is it Forest, is it Leeds, is it Villa Stadium? I'll be interested to see what you guys think. Leave it in the comment section. Don't take my thoughts too seriously, it's just opinions. Leave your thoughts in the comments, but interested to see what you guys think. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video if you did enjoy it, share it around and all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, all that. See you tomorrow against Ipswich. Up the Villa.